So as much as I'm very blessed and privileged to be growing up in Southern California with some of the most amazing skate spots, amazing skaters, companies, stuff like that, my favorite city for skateboarding is actually here, Copenhagen. It's one of my favorite places. This is one of the central parks, and I'll give you the first reason why Copenhagen I think is the best city for skateboarding is you can bike everywhere. I just biked here. It took me 12 minutes from my Airbnb, but no matter where you are in the city, you can bike to this park, and I feel like it's gonna take 30 minutes at the most, and that's what's really cool. The city is just set up so much more for mobilization, meaning like not a car, like skating and biking, like there's little spots everywhere. So in this video, I kind of just want to show you why Copenhagen, in my opinion, is probably the best city for skateboarding during the summer. Let me have that caveat, because it definitely is one of the cities that has real weather, not like Southern California. All right, we're gonna get started in this kind of clover-shaped bowl. Got some stairs in the shallow end. Love seat in the deep end. Only downfall of this bowl right now is pretty raw dog. The coping needs some love. I don't have any wax or spray on me. So I'm gonna move on to some of the other parts of the park. I'll show you the snake run. It's epic. So this is the end of the snake run. You got this big bowl, corners, a hip, another corner, I've seen some gnarly stuff go down in here. It's real big. Like that's definitely just as big as a vert ramp. It's basically a vert ramp, but then it has corners to bowl it out. That is over vert. Pretty gnarly. You got a hip right there too. Big hip, nice mellow coping on that side, so it's almost like you can stall right here, then it goes back to metal coping, noping around the hip, back to metal coping. Basically it starts over there. You're just rolling, you can roll into like a little noping area, or you can roll with the coping, little bowl area right here, kind of mini ramps down, then you have this huge bank wall right here. It's really fun. Hips everywhere in this snake run. Hip right there, then you have the huge mega oververt section. Super intimidating. It's gnarly for sure. Then you get down into the big bowl, which is basically a vert ramp. Really intense, really rad snake run. It kind of warps around that other bowl that I started at. I mean, they even got a vert ramp if you want to get into your vert session. The part about this ramp actually, it's not huge like those YMCA ramps. Like, I don't know, it's still pretty big, like maybe 11 feet-ish. It's probably like 2.5 feet of vert, but for some reason or another, it doesn't seem as intimidating. So maybe it's not like that one extra foot, man, on vert. It makes it so scary. Check out the street section. I'm back the next morning in the morning session so I can skate some of the street area. Yesterday, it was really packed. I didn't want to bum anybody out while like setting up my tripod and skating. So now it's really mellow. There's actually not a single soul in the skate park. It's all mine right now, which is really rad. It's only 8 a.m. So if you want to get a session here in Copenhagen at Fallen Park when nobody's around, come at 8 a.m. Clearly, like, that is the time. So yeah, I wore the same shirt just for some continuity, you know, giving it away now, but I feel like it allows the flow. So let's get a couple more clips around this section so I can just show you these really killer obstacles, and then we'll get moving on to some more spots and things like that. This isn't just going to be skate parks. I'm going to show you some cool spots as well. So I think this spot is really going to hit home the point that I'm trying to drive, that the skateboarding in Copenhagen is amazing because the city actually works with the skateboard committee. They work for years to get a committee of skateboarders, so they have like directors of skateboarding in the city, and the city now works with them when they're building architect to incorporate skateboarding obstacles. Like, how sick is that? Let me know what other city is doing, because I don't know if any are. But yeah, this is one of those abstract city infrastructures that they just had space for, and they made it skatable. Like, this is really rad. You can blast into the street, like so many options on this little pad. Like, it just really drives home that point of why Copenhagen is really good for skateboarding, the best city for skateboarding, because the actual city is working with skateboarders to make little installments throughout the city like this one. The reason that I think this is really important is because skate parks are cool. They're a safe place for skateboarding. We love those in America, but like, this is like true authentic skateboarding. It's out in the street, you just roll upon it and you ride it and you keep rolling. That is the stuff that skateboarders love. So Copenhagen knows how to embrace our culture. So not only is Copenhagen amazing for skateboarding, skate parks everywhere, we're at Reffen street food, where you get tons of street food, amazing food, but they actually kind of built it around a skate park. So they have a skate park here, you can eat good food, you can chill with your wife here on the bay, just people watching, enjoying it. I'll give you a little tour of some of the street food and the skate park. It's really rad. I mean, cool little hangout zone. That's really cool about skateboarding in Copenhagen. It doesn't feel refined. You're not in like a closed cage. You can skate, you can pop out, and I really like that about it. It feels just less of an intrusive thing. Like, even if you don't skate, it's not as intimidating. You can just be around it and enjoy it. This is another one of those really cool spots that's built by skateboarders, but then the city embraced it and just leveraged it, which is really rad. One thing that I didn't know about Copenhagen when I was here the very first time is that you can actually take a train right into Sweden, Malmo. It takes like 30 minutes. You take it from the central station here in Copenhagen to the central station in Malmo. That's what we're doing today. And you could do this just for a day trip. If you just want to go to Malmo for a day, or if you're in Malmo and you want to go to Copenhagen for a day, it's really easy to go back and forth. And there's rad skate spots at both areas. So as much as I love Copenhagen, you can stay here forever. If you're in the area, I highly suggest you go check out the neighbor city of Malmo, Sweden, right under the water. It's a really quick train ride away. Now this is Jarmers pads. I might be mispronouncing that, but it's right in the city center of Copenhagen. I actually stay in a hotel like right across the street. I'm not gonna mention the hotel because it's not a very good one. It's just gotten worse and worse over the time. It's overpriced. Probably won't be going back there after this year's experience, but this is a legendary skate spot to the Copenhagen skate scene. So much is kind of like the South Bank of London for Copenhagen. Essentially, this is like a good meetup spot. A lot of the really good ledge skaters out here in Copenhagen kill it. Most of you know I'm not much of a ledge skater. However, I think it's important to show this spot and highlight this spot if we're talking about Copenhagen skateboarding, the skate scene here. And this is really rad. It's another one of the spaces where it wasn't really made for skateboarding. The skaters just adapted it in the area. And this is kind of like a nice little center area for everyone to meet up and then explore other parts of the city. Super rad ledge spot though. They got two that are really close to each other, so you can like hop on one to another. It's nice ground right here. A lot of pavers, which make for nice easy skating. It's not cobblestone like it is everywhere else in the city, or a lot of places in the city. So super cool spot. If you're into ledge skating, definitely stop by and check it out. Another reason that Copenhagen might be the best city, or in my opinion is the best city for skateboarding, is because the bus factor. Like, we have these amazing ledges right here. This would be a bus factor in any other city that I can think of that's like right in the center, but nobody really cares. I've never gotten kicked out of a skate spot in Copenhagen ever, and it seems like a pretty common theme. Like, I don't think anybody ever cares. This bus factor is very, very low. Like, maybe you'll be asked to move if there's like an event going on or something, so you have to work around that. But for the most part, like, security guards don't seem to exist. At least that's what I've noticed. There's police, don't get me wrong, but I don't see like lots of private security like we do in the US or in other countries as well. So that is really good benefit to skateboarding in Copenhagen, that you don't really have to worry about getting busted. You don't have to like skate super far, travel across the country, or if you're a local, you don't have to worry about going somewhere and getting kicked out, which is really nice. Now we're at the edge of Superkilen Park. It's basically a half-mile long park in the most diverse part of Copenhagen. So it's actually a way to kind of get the community activated. It's a quarter or a half-mile skate park. Not really, it's not a skate park. You can tell this is like meant to be like basketball, tennis, whatever you want, but then they also have this like obstacle around it. So that's what's really cool. A lot of the space is like up for interpretation, as I keep pointing out in this video, is that there's this recreational space and you can do what you want with it. It's really rad. I mean, look at this. Like, where else do you find spots like this? If you go along this whole park, there's like a red area, there's a black and white area. It all resembles like different areas within the world, essentially, is like the idea from the architects that designed this place. It's really rad. There's ledges everywhere, there's tranny, there's slappy curves, there's like DIY stuff. It's just another little area within Copenhagen that's like, you can explore here for probably days and have so much fun. It's just really rad part of Copenhagen. Struggled for that one. It's one of those spots where it's like, it looks really easy to skate, and then when you start skating it, you're like, man, this is way harder than I thought. Like, I had so many trick expectations for this, but yeah, showed up and just taking what I can get. I'm pretty hyped. Definitely had to work for that one. There's also a skate park actually at the very end of the park. Pretty cool. It's actually an asphalt, so it's like, again, one of those areas where it doesn't feel too much like confined like a skate park, but it's really cool because they got flat rails, ledges, they even got a mini ramp right next to it, which is really rad. Just living our best lives out here. I'm Captain Dowdy, Miss Dowdy in front. Yeah, baby, straight out of that bottle. So this spot is called the Israel Plaids, and I actually want to paint a picture before I tell you about this spot and go into it. Back there behind me, there's a school in session right now. That is a normal education school that's in session. No teachers, nobody's bothered by it. So they're coming out here and they're using the space in the middle of the school session. I'm out here skating right now at the same time. The kids aren't even really distracted by me because they have teachers and people around. So I don't know, the picture that I'm trying to paint is like a little bit of the culture here. So this spot is really rad. It's basically a circle with a manual pad in the middle and then transition on all the outer rim. Really rad, and it's not like a perfect circle. That's what's really cool. Some parts are wider, some parts are tighter. It's actually a pretty abstract shape, really. It's not a perfect circle. It's just like almost like an egg shape a little bit. Also, you got these ledges over here on the other side. There's more ledges. And then on the top up here, you can drop in and there's a flat gap. Probably seen footage of it from Copenhagen Open. This is like a really cool area with lots of skate spots right here, really fun to skate. Also, on the other side of this park is Toblerone Market. That's a market I'm gonna be going to later with my wife. There's really good food, fresh juices, so you can skate and then go get really good food and then come back. Just a really rad spot. There's all sorts of things around here too, like you could definitely get really creative if you're a creative skateboarder and know how to like use obstacles uniquely. But this thing, I have a lot of fun here. It's a really good place to just start in the morning, drink some coffee, kind of relax, hit the sun, and then start your day. Really rad spot. It's also like a good medium ground to Fælledparken, like this is on the way there. And that's what's cool about a lot of these spots. They're kind of like all within pretty close. Like from here, the big Fælledparken skate park that we were at earlier, it's only like a 5-minute skate ride. If I haven't convinced you by now that this is the best city in the world for skateboarding, let me know down below what would make it better. And if it's not here, where is it? Because this is my favorite city for skateboarding, that's for sure. In my opinion, it is the best city for skateboarding because you can just pop around. Look at, I'm at another skate park. It's only like 8 minutes away from the other parks, and I haven't even been showing you all the amazing skate spots that are everywhere. Like some of these are spots, don't get me wrong, but there's so many more spots. I'm kind of going to the more popular ones just to give you guys the perspective that I have. Like these are the top of the line parks, but there's so many spots everywhere you go. Like I can push 2 blocks in any direction and there's gonna be something really fun to skate. But I'm hyped to go get a little session here at this skate park. It's a nice little funnel setup. It's like a track almost. They have some really cool obstacles here. They got 2 nice hips here. They got a curb bank, little spine section, a little China bank type of thing. So yeah, let's get a session here at this park. And we got all this area over here. I didn't get to skate because I'm exhausted already. Got a nice little hump, kind of like a bowl, another bowl, flat walls. Super rad area to kind of send you back into that zone over there. Now when it comes to accommodations in Copenhagen, it can be a little bit tough, probably similar to New York. If you're from the States, space is limited. So we stay in a hotel, you can stay in hostels or whatever you want. But the first time I came, I actually camped quite a lot at the Fælledparken skate park. So we camped in the bowl. You get some tents, and that's a really easy way to do it, especially in the summer. It's nice and warm. You don't have to worry about it being super cold. It gets colder later in the year. But yeah, if you're coming out here during the summertime and you're with some buddies and you're trying to do it trife, just get some tents. That's what I would recommend. Maybe a little thin sleeping mattress so you can skate the next day. Not too sore next day. I don't know why I said that so crazy. But yeah, accommodations can be tough in Copenhagen. It's one of those things you just have to work with. It is a big city. However, what the advantage you have is you can just sleep in all the amazing skate parks. So if it's your first time, I highly recommend that, and then getting acclimated with the city and figuring out where area you actually want to stay.